with Stephen A. here. Stephen A., what is the bigger
what?
storyline? Is it Pittsburgh losing their third straight or the Packers winning their third straight?
I'm going to say it's the Packers winning. And the reason why I'm going to say it's the Packers winning is because of a combination of two things. Number one, the Packers have resurrected themselves to what we expected them to be with Aaron Rodgers being their quarterback, based on how they've looked the last few weeks. And Pittsburgh is what we thought they were. I'm not going to get into the Steelers too much. I don't feel like crying. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to go through that. But I do want to cry. I do want to cry because I genuinely feel they're done because Ben Roethlisberger can't move. He can't move. His legs are gone. He's standing in the pocket, no play option. Can't move. Can't step up in the pocket. Can't do anything. Can't roll out. Can't do anything. Okay? And, missed Juju Smith-Schuster 3 times. Missed Deontay Johnson another time. The Steelers are what we thought they are. A team with a suspect offensive line, with a quarterback who's going to the Hall of Fame and deservedly so, but Father Time is clearly caught up to him. That is not the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is the reigning league MVP, and that brother is something special. You saw those 2 touchdowns he threw to Randall Cobb, particularly one when Randall Cobb went in there, zipped that pass to him, and ultimately he scampered in for a touchdown. When you look at Aaron Rodgers and you look at this offense and you look at Jones and Dillon running the football yesterday and you look at Aaron Rodgers, what is it, 20 of 36, 248 yards, 2 TDs, of course, no interceptions. He is just that special. And when Aaron Rodgers is balling, the Green Bay Packers are a legitimate title contender. You simply can't dismiss them. And that's where they are. As we look at the NFC with Arizona and Tampa Bay and of course, L.A., Arizona, Seattle, San Francisco. I look at the entire NFC West. When you look at all of them, you can't summarily dismiss Green Bay against any of them because that man, Aaron Rodgers, is a bad man. It is that simple. And to me, that's the story you walk away with. Since the opening night hiccup, opening day hiccup, opening night, I'm sorry, this brother has been on it.
Yeah, and listen, I think you walk away thinking about and talking about just like we're doing those Pittsburgh Steelers and saying, oh, my God. Oh, my God. And here's the thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers and why this is a painful situation, because every now and then you see a little glimmer and your hope rise. Yeah. But it's just glitter. It's not gold. And when you started that first drive, woof, for his 400th career touchdown, he's beautiful pass. He made touchdown. But that was it. And that's what goes on with the great ones. They can conjure it up every blue moon. One play here, one play there. But you cannot consistently do it. And you don't have a run game that will help you consistently do it. You're asking for this man to do too much to consistently hit Juju Smith-Schuster. Some of those passes, man, I'm going to tell you something. I just feel bad for Ben, because this is the hardest place in the world for an athlete, a superior athlete, a winner like Ben to be in. He's trying to fix it. He's doing everything he can, and he's pulling on everything he has, and he can't get it done because it's not within his bones anymore. It's his greatest asset now, becoming a great liability. He never listened to anybody before when they said he couldn't do it, and he became one of the greatest quarterbacks, but now he needs to listen, and it's time to try to find some way to bow out of this thing, Ryan. I don't know how this thing is going to end. But I told y'all before this thing started, this is bad for Mike Tomlin. This is going to be his first losing season, and him losing 3 in a row. Stephen A. and all you guys said, no way, Mike Tomlin, he's a great coach. And yes, he is. He'll find a way. No, he won't this time. Not with that guy, Ben Roethlisberger, at quarterback.
And I think that's why the Steelers are the bigger story, Mike. And, I get what Stephen A. is saying. Like, the Steelers are what we thought they were, but the Green Bay Packers aren't world beaters on defense. And yesterday they had opportunities. And I was one of those people beating the drum that no, Big Ben wasn't what he used to be, but he wasn't washed up. I felt like Big Ben still had some things left in the tank. And when he makes that throw to Deontay Johnson on the first drive, you're thinking to yourself, this could be the day. This could be the day where we see the old Big Ben resurrect himself on some plays, or Big Ben find a way to be great when it counted. If you go back to the first week against Buffalo, and I said this before the season, and Mike kind of hinted at it, that the great ones don't necessarily go all the way out, right? Like the flame doesn't burn out all the way, because they can be great in spots. And we watched Ben be great late in the game against the Buffalo Bills, and we hadn't seen it for 2 weeks. He had opportunity after opportunity to make plays yesterday, and he just couldn't. And it's different when you look at someone and you say that they didn't, and when you look at him and say that they couldn't. Big Ben Roethlisberger can't anymore. And so now the Pittsburgh Steelers are put in a position where they have to make a decision. Do you continue to try to play this season with Big Ben, or do you go to one of the younger guys, whether it's Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins, and see what you have going forward in the future? And that's what makes this a big deal. The Green Bay Packers are going to be fine. Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine. But now you're ending an era in Pittsburgh, and where do you go?
You see those receivers, they don't even run routes. And I'm telling you, man, if I'm a receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers and I'm in that locker room, we're huddling up, man. We're talking about it. It's like, man, I was wide open, man. Ben missed me. I was wide open, man. Ben missed me. And that virus in your computer, you got no shot. You got no shot.
I will say this to you. I totally agree with where you're coming from in that regard, playmaker, but I will tell you, it's pretty hard for Juju Smith-Schuster, anybody, to bring him up making that kind of discussion when we're accustomed to seeing him on TikTok. You certainly don't feel you certainly don't look serious and focused, prior to the games, because you're preoccupying yourself with that kind of stuff. I don't know if he did it yesterday, but I know that he had been doing it for the past year.
Missing him. I can see if he's missing passes. If he's dropping passes, then I'm saying put your foot.
Yesterday was not his fault. He was open, and Ben Roethlisberger
I don't mind when a man has another way to get him ready.
Overthrew it or underthrew it. But here's the deal, guys, and I'm going to throw out this question to you two NFL guys. There's a part of me that wants to say, no offensive line, even though they didn't play that badly yesterday. They made some mistakes, but they didn't play that badly. No offensive line and a quarterback that clearly is over the hill. And I look at the fact that you got in this situation as an organization. Does Mike Tomlin need more power? Should he have the power to coach and be a GM and pick his personnel? I think he has earned it. But here's where it gets dicey. You read the local papers like the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and us. These folks are talking about how they're questioning, Brian, whether Mike Tomlin is playing the role of enabler, because you see what you're seeing from Ben Roethlisberger, and you won't deviate, and you've given every indication that you're not about to deviate from him, away from him. So what kind of position does that leave Mike Tomlin in? What does he have to do? Because, again, Mason Rudolph or Haskins, those guys can't go in unless Mike Tomlin allows it.
Let me ask you something, though, Stephen A. Let me ask you something. How did you see Kobe Bryant's departure when they gave Kobe that extra deal? They gave Kobe that extra time.
Yeah.
How did you see that?
It was rough.
Okay.
It was rough.
But
I blame the Lakers.
But he earned that.
I blame the Lakers, not Kobe, though.
But he earned that.
Then look what Bill Belichick did against Mac Jones.
He earned that last shot. Whatever he think he has in him, he earned that last shot. Ben earned this last shot. Okay. But you gave him the last shot. That's right. And now you can start saying, Ben, we gave it to you. We got to try to save this team right now.
Yeah, you absolutely gave Ben his last shot, but I feel like as an organization, you should have had a plan in place if it worked out this way. I don't feel like Kevin Colbert, the GM, did a good job of setting this team up to move on. And I think we've seen this slide with Ben throughout the last few years. And Mason Rudolph was the last quarterback that you drafted that high. And I know Kevin Colbert said he had a first-round grade on Mason Rudolph, but we've seen this man play. We've seen Mason Rudolph as the starting quarterback, and you know that's not your future. And so now you're in a place where I think in that building, you still feel that Ben Roethlisberger is your best option. And unless you're giving up on the season, you can't move on from him. And so Mike Tomlin's in a tough spot. This offense is in a tough spot. Kevin Colbert's in a tough spot. The Rooney family. Everybody put all of their eggs in the basket of Big Ben Roethlisberger this year, knowing you weren't going to have an offensive line, knowing you had a new offensive coordinator. This is just a position that is a no-win for Mike Tomlin. And for a man who, whether it's the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, whether it's the fans in Pittsburgh, for a man who's never had a losing season and have his job called for on so many different occasions, how do you think this works out if this team continues to spiral, if this team is at the bottom or in the cellar of the AFC North?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Pittsburgh needs their Mac Jones. Ryan, thank you so much for being with us. We'll talk to you soon. Tom
Enjoy LA,
Brady,
guys.
yes, thank you.
We will.
Barely escaping Foxborough with